Good morning, people. Welcome to another vlog about delivering Uber Eats in Sheffield. What I thought I'd do today, as it's a kind of a quietish Saturday morning, I'm not sure anything terribly exciting is going to happen in terms of delivering, so I thought I might use this as an opportunity just to kind of show you how to use the Uber Eats app, particularly for anyone who's thinking of doing this and not sure exactly how it all works on the screen, because often you don't get to see the kind of screen when I'm delivering. I thought I'd kind of show you how it all works. And so what I'll be doing, I'll be trying to kind of record my screen as well as recording what I'm doing on the bike and where I'm going, and hopefully you'll get an idea of how it all kind of ties together and how I make decisions about what orders to take and how exactly the app works. So that might be interesting for people, might not be. We'll see how it goes. So what I'm going to do in a minute is just sort of pull over and sort of get the Uber Eats app started, and I can kind of show you how it all operates. Now, I think just a couple of caveats. I use an Android phone, so everything I'm going to be doing relates to the Uber Eats app on Android rather than on, say, an iPhone or iOS. I really don't know how it works on there, so for those who do have an iPhone device, I'm not sure that all of this will be representative of how it all works for you. But if you've got an Android phone, Samsung or whatever, then it should be fairly representative. So I haven't actually started the app yet, so I'm going to start it in a minute so you can see how it all works from initial turning on. Okay, now the thing about the Uber Eats app is that it kind of, whatever you do, it always sits on top of other apps. I think when you install it, it asks for permission to install on top of other apps, and this means that whatever your app you're in, if you're in Google Maps or in email or whatever, it can kind of, while it's running, while it's active, it can kind of sit on top of other apps. So you can easily access it by pressing on a little button. So I'm going to open up the Uber Eats app. A couple of things to note about the app. You can see there's a big blue go button, and as soon as I hit that, that means basically I'm online and open to order offers. It does tell you kind of trends there, earning trends at different points. It tells you what sort of options, and I found this terribly useful. In a moment when I switch it on, it will kind of show you a sort of a heat map of which parts of Sheffield are busier, and if there are any kind of boosts on and things like that. Okay, so we're going to go online now. So I'm going to click that go button, and that takes us online. You may occasionally find when you go online, it does sort of prevent you from going online. It might ask you to take a photo of yourself for verification, or it might ask you to read some tips. You can see here now, even before I've gone online, it's showing you some of these kind of hot spots on the screen of places which are busier. So there's like the McDonald's and Asda and things like that. So this can be helpful to know where to kind of... Okay, so we're going to go online now. So I'm going to click that go button, and that takes us online. You may occasionally find when you go online, it does sort of prevent you from going online. It might ask you to take a photo of yourself for verification, or it might ask you to read some tips. You can see here now, even before I've gone online, it's showing you some of these kind of hot spots on the screen of places which are busier. So there's like the McDonald's and Asda and things like that. So this can be helpful to know where to kind of position yourself. Alright, I'm going to go online now. Okay, it says now online, and it's finding trips. Just start saying finding trips. You can see it says there, finding trips. So now it's a bit of a waiting game. So what I'll do is I'll start to move towards one of those McDonald's, and then we'll see as the orders come in how it all works. Detail at the map, you can kind of zoom in and see it, but I'm not going to be able to do that because I'm driving at the moment, and this is obviously something you need to consider, is that you don't have much time. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to reject this one there is a confirm button or a reject, but I'm going to reject it. Now, obviously technically you probably shouldn't be doing this as you're driving along the road and interacting with your phone, and you know, obviously with all the issues there about safety and security, but you don't really have much choice when you're using the app. You know, you're out on a delivery, and then suddenly an order comes up, and you unless you've got an opportunity to kind of pull off the road and pull off to a side road, you really have to make that decision in the moment as you're looking at the app and as you're driving down the road. Like I said, it's not the safest thing in the world, but you don't really have much choice, really. Anyway, I'm going to keep going, and so that's an example of one where I rejected it just because £6 for 5 miles is not great. Ideally, you'd want a better ratio than that. Ideally, you're looking at £2 for 1 mile. I mean, normally I do take my first order, but in this case, I think I'm going to reject that because I'm heading towards a different part of the city. So we'll leave that one for now. It's likely that most of the orders I will get this morning will be McDonald's or possibly supermarkets. People tend to be ordering groceries or breakfast from Mackie D's. So again, as soon as another order comes up, we'll have a look at it and see. I'll probably take whatever the next order is just so we can see the app in motion. Now you'll see here, I've just come out onto my home screen of my phone, and you can see in the top left there is a little Uber Eats sort of bubble, and I can tap that at any time to get back to the Uber Eats app. It can be quite tricky, particularly if you're wearing gloves, to actually hit it and hit it so it pops up. But this also, I think, enables it to kind of show you delivery notifications or offers for deliveries, and this would just sort of pop up over the top of whatever app or whatever screen you're on your phone. So yeah, hopefully as I get closer to this McDonald's, the chances of getting an order from there will increase. You tend to find as you get closer to these places, these hot spots, these kind of red areas on the map. And again, let's just see if I can bring that up. You can kind of see on the map, I'm heading towards one of these hot spots. It will also show you sometimes what are called boosts on these maps, and boosts are when, you know, there's an increase in how much you earn. So it would say something like 1.1 boost, which means you're getting kind of 10% over what you would normally get. And again, you might want to target those areas if a boost is in a particular area or a particular time. I think it's often like between, you know, 5 and 7 there's a 1.1 boost. Okay, so we're getting an order from a place called Bagels Incorporated. That's £5 for about 3 miles. Okay, I'm going to do this one, but I'm going to need to turn around. Now you have to click the confirm button here. So this is where it gets a little bit tricky, because you have to kind of hit that with your thing. Okay, now you can see now it goes into a sort of an overview of what you're going to be doing, and you'll notice then, because I've got the Google Maps app activated, it sort of automatically goes into Google, I think. So I think I'm just going to turn around and see if I can get back, because I think Bagels Incorporated is back this way. Okay, this is when you start to get sort of the orders piling up, and this we get an added £3 for another 1 mile. So again, you can confirm this. I'll confirm that. That doubles up the order. No, I thought it was going to take me to the bagels place first, but it decided, because it added that McDonald's order, it decided to put the McDonald's first, simply because I was closest to that. So the app will kind of try to order the trip in a way that it thinks makes the most sense. I don't think there's any way you can reorder it. You can't sort of say, oh no, I'm going to do it in this order instead. You have to do it in the order that they tell you to. Okay, here we are arriving at McDonald's. I need to give my visor a bit of a clean before we do anything else, because can't see a damn thing at the moment. Now you can see I'm just coming over obviously will blur out any identifying information. So yeah, when you get to the place and you get there, it will tell you information about the order, any information from the business about where to pick up, etc. And it'll also tell you if the order has got any drinks. You can see here, it'll tell you what you're picking up. Okay, now it says verify this order. This is something that they've started recently, where it's your job now to kind of check that what's in the bag is supposed to be there. There's no way to do that because they seal them anyhow, but you're supposed to check the receipt, I think. No one ever does this. It's just an extra hoop you have to go through. You just click verify this order and click verify, because there's not much you can do really to know if the correct things are in there. So let's go in there and pick them up. Morning.
I've got your 7581 here. Thank you. So you want both bags, yeah?
Hi there, I've got 75503. I think it might be still being prepared, but...
It's this one here, so we just come the
Okay, cheers, thanks a lot. Morning. Thank you so much, have a good day. So, sometimes in McDonald's they ask you to kind of swipe immediately, so... But she didn't do that. So the first thing you have to do is verify the order. Of course, you know, no one's really going to do that unless there's some obvious problem with it. So you click the order verified, and then you can see it says complete pickup, and this means that it then starts the sort of navigation to get there. In this case, though, it's navigating me to the second place, which is the bagels place. And it should take me into Google Maps to do that. Sometimes it doesn't. If it doesn't do it, then there is a button on there which says navigate. If you click the navigate button, it will then move into Google's Maps to take you there. It does normally do it immediately, but as you see, as we come to these speed bumps, normally, especially from McDonald's, I'd be very careful going over these. I'm going to go around them here, just because you normally get you normally get drinks in McDonald's, and it can really spill them if you're not careful going over those bumps. However, when I check this order, this only has an orange juice in, so it's in a contained plastic bottle anyhow, so don't have to worry too much about spillages with that. It is always good to check exactly what drink you've got, and if it's just like a can or a bottle, then you're good to go. See if it's a coffee or a Pepsi or something like that, especially for McDonald's, it's going to be in one of those sort of cardboard cups with the sort of plastic lids, which can spill quite easily. So we're going on to our sort of second order now at this bagels place. Of course, this is always a consideration when you know, they rarely give you 3 orders. They normally give you 2 orders maximum, although they have started to give 3 orders as well. But you do have to consider how long that process is going to take, and also when you get to the next restaurant, if there's a really long wait, you've got to appreciate there's an order in your bag steadily getting cold, and the chances of a customer being a bit annoyed when it comes late or comes cold or anything like that might affect how they rate you or anything like that. So we'll see when we get to this next place. How long the wait is going to be, and if the wait is a bit too long, then you can cancel the order, and I don't think there's any penalty for doing that. It's perfectly okay. I think I had difficulties when I first started. I didn't realise you could cancel. I didn't know how to cancel the order once it'd been ordered, and it's only from within that order sort of page there's something which says report a problem. Now I thought you only used that for reporting if there's a, you know, problem with the order or you couldn't deliver or something, but it's there where it gives you the option to sort of say what the problem is, and you can sort of say, well, there's a long excessive waiting time, and then once you click that, it then gives you the option to cancel. But it took me a while to figure that out. If I have the chance to show you that, I will, but I may not. What are you doing, mate? Thank you so much. Is there it's the Coca can? Is it a can or is it like? Okay, perfect. You can see here there is the option to report a problem. If you go in there, there's different things like excessive waiting time, etc. And then you get the option to cancel if you click some of those. There's no problems with this one. So I'll verify the order, complete the pickup, and now I'm off to that first order. Now, like I said, I think, you know, Google Maps is great. The only thing it doesn't seem to do very well is find exactly the customer's address. It seems like it's not allowed to get exactly their address, or they get a kind of a postcode which then is handed to them, so it can get you within normally a couple of doors. So it's good to kind of use it just because of familiarity. However, it doesn't tell you the exact address, and only the Uber Eats app does that. And secondly, if there's any specific instructions, like, you know, a PIN code required, or you know, specific instructions about where to deliver, you know, you leave it at the door or anything like that, you won't obviously get that on the Google Maps. So you then have to switch back to the Uber Eats app. So what I tend to do is, as I get to the road that I'm on for the delivery, I will just click into the Uber Eats app. Now let me just turn into this road here. Okay, so I just turned onto the road and I'm kind of actually there. But what I'm going to do is click back into the Uber Eats app. And you can see now it says the drop-off type, don't knock, it says. Let me just park up somewhere and then deliver. Okay. And there's the option to send a message or phone them from there as well. Oh, is it? Okay, let me just get this for you. There you go. Enjoy, have a good one. Bye. Okay. So once I've done that, I just click confirm delivery and then complete delivery, and then it will then navigate me to the next one. Automatically, this is like 8 minutes away. So yeah, it was nice that she came outside to sort of greet me and take the order. This always makes life a little bit easier. Particularly on some of these sort of terraced houses, we have to go around the back door and try to work out which one you're knocking on. I think the only issue sometimes is that sometimes they specify leave it door, so you're supposed to just leave the package on the doorstep and take a photo of it to prove that you delivered it. However, sometimes they ignore that and they just come and collect it anyhow, but you still need to take a photo and submit it. So often either you have to ask them to stop and hold it for a second and take a photo of it, you know, sometimes you just sort of take a random photo of the doorstep and just say, oh, there's an option to say what happened, and you can just say it was given to the customer. So you would have also heard when I was in Bagels Incorporated, I asked them about the Coke, because I saw there was a Coke in that order, and I just wanted to check that it was a can rather than a cup with a plastic lid, because if it was, I'd need to be a bit more careful with it in the bag, but if it was a Coke can, then it doesn't really matter. You do sometimes wonder why they put the Coke can in with the hot food, but you know, I understand they're trying to minimise their packaging and stuff like that, but from the customer's perspective, it's probably going to make it a bit cold having the cold Coke can right next to the hot bagel. But there's not much we can do about that. If they put them in together, we have to take them together. We can't separate them. So when you're on any individual order, you can obviously get notifications for further deliveries later, for after this, and that will then be added to the kind of navigation after you've completed this one, if you agree to accept it.